Joe, bring us up to date on where the industrial market is today.
Terry, we talked 2 weeks ago when we did our last filming before the Prescott Sedona trip. I've been up here 34 years. I've been doing business out here 36 years. I moved from Santa Barbara. Our company under Joseph W. Brady Inc. is not the largest as it was at one time, but I think we're still the premier longest serving commercial brokerage company in the region. In the last 12 months, since Ken Shear in Covington sold the first pad over there on Caliente near Highway 395 and I-15, where 200,000 cars a day pass, or maybe that was before the gas price increase. We have seen about a 400 to 500% increase in the price of large industrial parcels throughout the high desert region. I'm talking about Hesperia. So if you look at the Hesperia corridor from where the 3 parcels of 232 acres that Covington had, they have the development for 3.2 million square feet, and then they have a small little 11-acre parcel that's about 100,000 feet. As you go up Highway 395 north, you have a major cold storage facility that's been approved. You have a bunch of other properties that are in the entitlement stage. We believe that you have about 8 million square feet coming in just along that corridor. As you travel north on Highway 395, you'll pass Victorville. I think there might be a play over somewhere on the west side of Victorville, on one parcel in particular. Then as you split off on Adelanto Road, you get up to the southeast corner of 395 and Air Expressway. A gentleman by the name of Dave Maliski, a very well-seasoned, nice guy, a very prudent industrial property owner. I believe he owns 10 million feet, probably has another 8 million feet in entitlement. He has a 396-acre parcel, and he just bought a 110-acre parcel that he paid $2.90 a foot on property that at the time I looked at it 9 months earlier, I felt was worth $30,000 an acre. So anybody watching this that knows their math, they go, whoa, that's a big movement. So he's going to probably redesign what he had in 7 million feet on 396 acres. With his next 110, he's probably going to lay out 9 1 million square foot boxes, and I think he'll do extremely well. Right across the street, you have Kim Schneider, the president of the Western Division of Prologis, the largest industrial developer in the world. They own, nearly 750 million square feet of space around the world. They have 6,000 corporate clients. He's a great asset. He's taken over from where Dougal Agan and Chris Downey and Brian Parno. And that whole team kind of stopped. So they got bought out. Ken Shear with Covington, him and Mark Milikovich, and his partners, his equity partners, bought 3.4 million feet from Sterling in, I think, November for $270 million cash. So you've got that going on. There's a piece where the old golf course is. That's under contract right now for a real big number. It's about 156 acres. Then as you get into Apple Valley, there's been some real shift in movement recently. One of our clients when I was in Sedona sent me a copy of a letter that they received from a national broker, a very, very, very good broker, I should say. And they said, should we sell? And I said, absolutely not. And when I said that, Deb was in the room. We were in Sedona when she goes, Joe, why would you say that? I said, because the offer that they might have gotten at $2 or $4 a foot, I think next year might be at $10 a foot. So that's what we've seen. So the properties along I-15 where the Covington project was originally, they couldn't get $3 a square foot 4 years ago. Okay, today I believe that's probably $25 a square foot raw land with entitlements. Okay, with entitlements, you got to have the entitlements. And the entitlements up here, I don't think are very difficult. I think the cities want to see good quality, LEED certified type buildings. I think the developers that are coming on in, Covington, Maliski, Prologis, Ken Shear, Lewis is coming to play. I think you've got people that really they feel a responsibility to what they build. They feel a responsibility to their community, and I think that they'll do very well. I think that the one thing that people will need to work on and hopefully work with the city of Hesperia and the city of Victorville and the transportation authority that Ray Wolf runs with the county, and hopefully with our Assemblyman Thurston Smitty Smith and our Senators Scott Wilk, and hopefully our Congressman Jay Obernolte. There's a movement to widen Highway 395 from where it is now as far up into Atlanta as they can because of the amount of truck traffic. So I would really encourage our city councils, Hesperia and Victorville, Atlanta, to work very close with, our bishop, I believe, is going to be the incoming chair of the San Bernardino County Transportation Committee. I had a great conversation with Ray Wolf a couple of weeks ago. He shared the kind of the skeleton of the grant that they're going to go for. This is one of those things that while Governor Newsom doesn't want to see projects like this go through, there's a grant out there, and this is where I think that those of us, whether we get along or not, or whether we like each other or not, we all come together and say, okay, what's in the best interest of our citizens? What's in the best interest of industry? Because if we don't get that and a lot of these buildings get built, then all of a sudden we're going to have citizens that are not really happy, and then they're going to start boycotting buildings that come in the future. So I think we need to get in front of it. Apple Valley, there's been a bunch of land plays out there. So what I'm telling people that I will share this video with, I see the clearest vision I've ever seen in the 34 years I've been here. I'm a trustee at Victor Valley Community College, so I look at the long term of the amount of jobs coming up here and what we need to do to satisfy those. I look at some of the other challenges that we have that are social challenges that we highlighted through the High Desert Survey. If I were a property owner that owned a nice sized piece of industrial property, I'd be careful about, I'd pick out a broker that has real quality, that has real knowledge, because a lot of these property owners have waited years. They've waited 10, 20, 30 years, and all of a sudden they get that number, and I'm saying to them, I don't know, I would wait. Now, we're not going to see the numbers that we see in Orange County. In Orange County right now, if you could find a piece of industrial property, 10 acres, you get $200 a foot for it. If you're in Chino, you get $85. In Ontario, they've gotten 107. They've gotten 92 in Fontana. I mean, these are industrial parcels. They're getting 25 out in Banning Beaumont. They're getting 10 out there in Palm Desert along the 10 free where Desert Hot Springs is. So I think that industrial property owners should really be rewarded for, not holding firm and holding out, but I think that, I think this is going to go on for a while. We've seen some very seasoned commercial brokers come in the market from some of the national firms, and I welcome them here. We work with a couple of them. I just had lunch today with a couple of friends, and they say, "Don't you look at them as competition?" You know what? I'm 65. I think I've done okay. I can't take the last time with me to heaven anyway. And I think part of what I want to see is that we have orderly development. I will tell you, Terry, that probably in the next month or so, I've got a binder that was given me by the then chairman of the San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors, John Joyner, back in I think he gave it to me in 1990. He was the chairman. He was our supervisor before Marcia Tarosi got in, then Kathy Davis got in. So I'm going to tell a little bit of history. And it's a binder that's about this thick. And it talks about the amount of infrastructure that the high desert needs. High desert, Victor Valley. I call it the Mojave River Valley. Some people like the Victor Valley. That's great. Some people say, I love the high desert. Everybody can have their own name. But at the time, as I remember, the binder has sat on my back credenza for 15 years. And I'm going to take that binder and probably sit down in this conference room some Saturday morning and have a couple cups of coffee, come back and dictate back to you what needs to be done. I then plan on sending out that summary, not only in writing, but to our city councils and our planning commissions and all of our elected officials. This is our issue. This is our time. Okay? The Inland Empire is almost built out. We've got 685 million square feet below the hill. We've got another 40 million square feet coming in with Ido Benzivi's project in Moreno Valley. It's probably another 25 million feet. We are not the fastest growing area in industrial development anymore, and we have led the nation year after year after year. Okay, so you have places back in Pennsylvania that are now building out at 35 million feet a year, and we're at 25 million. The industrial market is hot. It's hot across the country. I think it's a great time for the high desert to grow, and I think it's a great time for property owners to make a good return and pack their money away, and the building owners, it doesn't matter to them really what that price of property ends up being, and I think it's a win-win for everybody. So my next segment, hopefully we'll talk about the infrastructure. I plan on probably sending this video out to as many property owners as we can, and let them turn it on and make their decision. If you have any questions, feel free to give me to contact me. Terry put up our contact on there. I will tell you that I did get a call the other day from somebody that you and I both know, and I'll tell you off the camera, and it came from a call in Summit Valley based on a comment I made about the Ranchero Road expansion. So, God bless everybody.